Today on OC News, a CSUF fraternity is in hot water after releasing a controversial flyer.
Find out which baseball coach is taking over the Los Angeles Angels.
And check out how this student made the Titan Radio Art Showcase a success. All this and more. OC News starts right now.
Welcome and thanks for joining us at OC News. I'm Daisy Tornell.
And I'm Mackenzie Quinn. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
Phi Sigma Kappa, a fraternity on campus, is under investigation by the Office of Student Conduct after posting an offensive watermark. University officials declined to comment on what was said on the flyer. According to posters on the Reddit page, the poster contained racial slur. The fraternity came forward apologizing on Instagram Monday after posting the offensive flyer. Quote, "We apologize that this flyer was posted without necessary meticulous reviewing of our media. Phi Sig does not take any acts of intolerance lightly, as we pride ourselves in being accepting and inclusive to those from all walks of life," end quote.
Actress Felicity Huffman will not serve her full prison sentence. The former Desperate Housewives star reported to prison on Tuesday, but will now only serve 13 days of her original 14-day sentence because of time spent behind bars following her initial arrest as part of the college admissions scandal earlier this year. In addition to prison time, Huffman was fined $30,000 and must complete 2,500 hours of community service.
All southbound lanes on the 57 freeway in San Dimas were shut down this morning after brush fires started near Frank G. Bonley Regional Park. The fire was reported about 10 a.m. and burned around 3 acres. Officials announced that firefighters managed to extinguish the fire just before 1 p.m., but multiple lanes remained closed afterwards as crews removed brush from the scene. Caltrans official advised motorists to use alternative routes to connect between the 210 and 10 freeway during the closure. Authorities announced the lanes reported at 2 p.m. and San Dimas Avenue, which was shut down, also reopened.
Dozens of people were detained Wednesday morning after police raided an illegal gambling casino located in Long Beach. This incident took place at 3:30 a.m. on the 2300 block of Pacific Avenue. This case is still under investigation, and it is unclear on how many, or if any, will be charged. Long Beach police encourage anyone to come forward if they have any more information on the matter.
A freshman student was arrested from La Habra High School Tuesday morning for bringing a gun to school. La Habra Police Department Lieutenant Daniel Barnes said someone at the school contacted authorities after seeing the student with the gun. The 14-year-old boy was tackled to the ground by fellow students after showing off the gun in class and then pointed at them, briefly forcing the campus into a lockdown. No students or faculty were physically harmed in the incident. The boy, who has not been named, was taken into custody.
Winds are expected to pick up in Southern California starting tomorrow, and that means many more power outages. Last week, thousands of people in California faced widespread power outages as part of Pacific Gas and Electric's plan to reduce possible wildfires. The company is now being accused of mismanaging last week's shutdown, and Governor Gavin Newsom said that the utility company should provide credits or rebates to affected customers. Many shops had to close their doors, homes glowed in candlelight, and students lost years' worth of work. But PG&E says the power outages may just be the new normal.
Still to come, a man shot in front of his 4 children. Police are calling it a case of road rage.
Also find out if the newest addition to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. This and more after the break.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
For once, it seems Democrats and Republicans have agreed on an issue. The U.S. House of Representatives voted 354 to 60 opposing the president's decision to withdraw troops from northern Syria. President Trump continues to believe that the fight between Kurds and Turks does not need involvement with the U.S. military, saying, quote, "They have a problem at a border. It's not our border. We shouldn't be losing lives over it," end quote. But for those who think differently, they are fighting to make their voices heard, with Congress members are taking action to keep troops in the location.
Two brothers, Nicholas Marino and Joseph Marino, face charges for their shooting of a man in St. Louis County, Missouri. This shooting took place in front of his 4 children and was due to a road rage incident. One of the brothers was driving while the other was in the passenger seat, pointing the gun at the father. Joseph was charged with the 1 count of unlawful use of weapon, while Nicholas was charged with 1 count of first-degree assault. The father of 4 is recovering, and his children ages 11, 9, 5, and 3 were not injured in this incident. The U.S. could face a potential Ebola outbreak in the future due to climate change. Here's our reporter, Edwin Flores, with more information on the latest in health.
Thank you, Daisy. We start with Cal State Fullerton's Health Services hosting their annual free flu clinic with free flu shots available for all students. The flu is caused by influenza viruses and is usually spread around the United States during October to May. The free flu shot is easily accessible to all CSUF students.
When I came up and I saw a lot of people waiting around, I was kind of bummed. I thought I'd have to wait, but then I just walked straight in, got it straight away, and I realized that everybody was just waiting afterwards to make sure that they don't have a reaction. So they made it super easy, super quick. It was very convenient.
Tomorrow is the last day to get your free flu shot, so make sure to head over to the Humanities Quad from 10 p.m. to 3 p.m. Taco Bell recalled about 2.3 million pounds of contaminated seasoned beef after a customer found metal shavings in their food. The USDA says that meat was produced from September 20th to October 4th. The Irvine-based restaurant chain announced Tuesday it has successfully removed the product from all restaurants across 21 states. Restaurants in California were not affected by the recall. Taco Bell's president, Julie Masino, said, quote, "To ensure the safety of our guests, the company immediately partnered with the supplier to shut down the supply chain, remove the product from restaurants and distribution centers, and notify the USDA," end quote. So far, there have been no reports of people experiencing a reaction from the beef. And a new journal Nature Communications study indicates increases in temperature related to climate change, bringing a potential Ebola outbreak to the U.S. Researchers predict a rapid spread amongst deadly viruses from animals to humans in the world within the next 50 years. The cause? Environmental conditions brought about by climate change. Higher temperatures could force humans to come into more frequent contact with infected animals. Ebola outbreaks are commonly isolated to West and Central Africa, but there is a higher risk of the disease spreading to China, Europe, India, Russia, and the U.S. There is no cure for the rare but deadly disease. Health officials remain hopeful about the experimental vaccine widely used in the current outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's it for the latest in health, and back to you guys at the desk.
Still to come on OC News, it's close to winter, but don't grab your jacket just yet. We'll have more on our unseasonably warm weather.
Also, find out which pop star turned down a chance to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show. Stay tuned, we'll be back after the break.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
We are near winter, but it's not getting any colder outside. Here is Alexia Aguayo for more on weather.
Thank you, Daisy. Yes, it is warm outside, even though we're near the winter season. But let me not talk about that yet. First, let's take a look at the Japan typhoon. As you can see, this is the aftermath of the Japan typhoon. The typhoon hit Japan, killing 72 people, and 14 more are missing. Take a look. As you can see, Streets and villages are flooded after this typhoon. Crews are working endlessly to clear out the roads, the villages, and to clear out the roads and villages of the typhoon. Now let me bring it back. There are about 100,000 workers in the typhoon, and the typhoon brought record-setting wind, rain, but it also contributed to record-setting September. Last September was the hottest September on the planet, tying the 2015 September at 68 degrees. That is the average of the United States. 68 degrees of the average in the United States that September brought. But yeah, as you can see, we're dealing with hot September. Many people still going outside. It's still not yet to go inside for the winter season. And so yeah, so you're still more than welcome to go outside because it's getting so hot outside. Now, let me bring it back, because this last September also brought really dry conditions within the United States. Let's take a look at the United States map. So, as I mentioned, the South was really dry. So as you can see, Southern California is extremely dry. The darker the color, the hotter the temperature. But look at down here, Florida is extremely, extremely hot. 90 degrees, we're reaching 90 degrees all along Georgia, Mississippi. It's all really red, really hot, and it's still really hot here in Fullerton. So let's look at the current temperature here in Fullerton. 82 degrees, but the low is 60. You see the contrast here? It's hot, but it's cold at the same time. So you can wear those shorts, but you have to have that sweater in that trunk. So 82 degrees, 60 is the low, 6 miles per hour is the wind. But let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. So yeah, it's going to be 80 degrees all week. We're 76 tomorrow, but the rest of the week is 80. And the weekend, 90. So if you want to go out, this is the time to do it. Next week is also the time to go out, because all this week and next week it will be 90 degrees. So as I mentioned, go out, enjoy the sun while it lasts, because who knows how long this heat will be in here. So that's all I have for weather. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Thanks, Alexi. The end of an era in Chicago is the beginning of a new one in Los Angeles. We go to Rita Laveau, who has more on this.
That's right, Mackenzie. Baseball's regular season has ended, and with it, we saw the end of an era in Chicago for the Cubs, who split with beloved manager Joe Maddon. The team put together a touching video tribute to the manager, highlighting his many accomplishments, none bigger than winning the 2016 World Series. The fans of Chicago will always be grateful to Joe for what he did. In more Joe Maddon news, the Angels have signed him to a 3-year deal ranging from $12 to $15 million, hoping he could bring some of the success he had with the young Cubs team to LA, where he had a long history with the Angels organization. Maddon was looking to get this job and was the only position he interviewed for this prior to signing, this showing his commitment to the team. The postseason in baseball has given us a lot to talk about, however. The Washington Nationals came to play. Not only did they achieve the franchise's first postseason series victory over the Dodgers in the NLDS, but they swept the Cardinals to advance to the World Series. They did this despite trading superstar Bryce Harper in the offseason. As late in the season as May 25th, they had a 0.01% chance to even make it to the World Series, but they defied the odds. We wish them luck in the World Series, and may the odds forever be in their favor. The Cal State Fullerton basketball team will host their first scrimmage game tonight at 6 p.m. We go to our reporter, Kyle Fulbright, to give us more on the preview of this season. Kyle?
We are here at Titan Gym, where the Cal State Fullerton men's basketball team kicks off their season with their annual blue and orange scrimmage. The Titans have high hopes for the season as they look to get back to the Big West tournament. I'm here with Coach Taylor from the basketball team. Coach, with this scrimmage tonight, what are you looking for in your team?
Just to see what we've been working on the last 3 weeks. I mean, we've been scrimmaging each other, so it should be familiar from that standpoint, but really want to see what our pace of play looks like, what we're doing defensively, and if we can get on the same page, both sides of the ball.
The loss of Kyle Allman Jr. and Khalil Ahmad, obviously big for this team. How are you guys adjusting to play without them?
You know, ironically, quite well. The ball's moving. Everybody's touching it. Our assists are way up, and our turnovers are way down. Of course, we haven't played anybody else, but up to this point, I've been really pleased.
You guys have had 2 straight appearances in the finals in the Big West tournament. What are your guys' expectations for this season?
To win the Big West Conference Championship and get back to the NCAA tournament. That's our expectations, and I think this group is capable of that. And obviously will be a tall task to get it done, but I think this group is up for the test.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thanks.
That's all I have from you. Reporting live from Titan Gym, I'm Kyle Fulbright. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Kyle. We continue with one of our hardest working reporters, Rita Laveau, with what is trending in the world of entertainment.
Thanks, Daisy. Rihanna has always been a woman who stands her ground, and the Super Bowl was no exception. Rihanna has made a public statement saying that the NFL has approached her to be the performer for this year's Super Bowl halftime performance. She declined, saying, "I couldn't dare do that. I just couldn't be a sellout. There are things within the NFL that I do not agree with at all." Rihanna was referencing her support to Colin Kaepernick and his choice to stand up against police brutality against African Americans and the NFL ostracizing him for said actions. Kevin Smith is finally getting a star on the Walk of Fame. The 25-plus-year veteran in the entertainment industry is getting a star for acting and directing works such as Jay and Silent Bob, Clerks, and other comedic works. His co-star for Jay and Silent Bob series, Jason Mewes, is also getting a star alongside him. Be on the lookout for the sequel Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, which just released yesterday. Angelina Jolie will reprise her role as Maleficent in the new movie Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, set to be released this Friday, October 18th. Despite some negative critique reviews, audiences have given it a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, making it one of the highest rated films this year alongside The Joker. The movie will be based on Aurora's engagement to Prince Philip and expanding on Maleficent's mysterious origins. Dakota Fanning and Sam Riley will also return alongside Jolie, as well as Michelle Pfeiffer.
Just had its first ever art showcase, and one student in particular stood out among the rest. Our reporter Jason Martinez has more.
Here outside Fullerton's Made Coffee Shop, Titan Radio is hosting an art showcase full of talented art by Cal State Fullerton students. Now, I came here with my art, my drawing, but I know it's not the greatest, but inside this building, here, let's go walk. This is where we'll find truly exceptional art by CSUF students. One art that stood out among the rest is a Homer Simpson model that's been a centerpiece at Titan Radio for several years now. Art and illustration intern for Titan Radio, Tegan Borum, describes what it means for her.
It's really special to me. That was kind of like my first breaking out of my shell, and like, you know, just having that in the station and having everyone like, oh, like, you're the one who made that. Like, it was so cool. That helped me make friends a little better.
The Homer is like, it is family. It's more than just a piece here. It's like, it is part of Titan Radio, and we're really glad it's being showcased here.
Apart from creating the Homer, Tegan played a big role at the art showcase itself and contributes to Titan Radio in more ways than one.
For her, it's art. She's an art major, so facilitating this art show. She came up with a new sticker design for us recently. She made the poster for this art show, so anything kind of creative and fun and visual, that's going to be her.
And Tegan's really been the main person organizing and pushing this forward, so I would say, like, this is Tegan's baby, and it means so much to her.
The art showcase is just one of the many events Titan Radio puts together for students, and Tegan believes there will be more.
You're thinking maybe of doing something on campus, because in the art department there's a gallery that students can actually like reserve, so maybe we'll do it in there.
Until that happens, Tegan encourages everyone to visit Titan Radio at
titanradio.org.
Reporting for OC News, Jason Martinez.
That was such a cool event. If they have another event like that, I will definitely go in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And make sure you bring me with you. Well, that's it for today, Titans.
Thanks for joining us at OC News, and don't forget to follow our social media under the handle at OC News CSUF. I'm Daisy Tornell.
And I'm Mackenzie Quinn. See you next time.